Good morning. This is the Board of Appeals, Town of Hempstead, June 7th, 2023, 9:30 meeting. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
As usual. For those of you who have not appeared before us before, the way we conduct the hearings, first we'll call the renewals. First we'll call applications for adjournment if there are any. Then we'll call renewals, and then we'll go into the regular calendar. The individual hearings are conducted in the following manner. The applicant will present their case. If there are any objections, the objectants will be entitled to present their case, and then the applicant will have the ability to sum up. Once we close the hearing, we will not accept any other evidence. That's okay. The hearings are archived. They are live streamed. They are, we have a court reporter here to take everything down. If you're an insomniac and you want to watch the hearings at 3 a.m., you can do that. All right?
Mr. Chairman, we have one application for adjournment. It's a defective notice, case 35823, near Valley Stream, Milton Urichma and Selena Marino, mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, also known as 54 Carolyn Avenue.
Good morning, my name is Melissa Graham. My address. Good morning, my name is Melissa Graham. The address is 124 Front Street, Massapequa Park, 11762.
Morning.
Good morning. We were requesting an adjournment. Our mailers didn't go out on time.
Patrick?
Mr. Chairman, the next available date that we can put it on would be July 12th at 9:30.
Is that acceptable?
That's fine.
Okay, July 12th, 9:30.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do not have any other applications for adjournment.
Okay.
First, we have case 35023, Oceanside, St. Anthony's RC Church. Amusement rides special event, duration June 8th, 2023 through June 11th, 2023 with tents, also known as church parking lot. Please stand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Just take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Thomas Cestro III, 45 Merle Avenue, Oceanside, New York, 11572.
Morning.
Good morning, Chairman and board members. My name is Tom Cestro. I'm the chairman of St. Anthony's Feast. This is our 52nd annual feast held at our church property at 110 Anchor Avenue in Oceanside. We will have booths, amusement rides, live entertainment. We start Thursday, tomorrow, from 6 to 10, Friday from 6 to 11, Saturday from 4 to 11, and then Sunday from 2 to 9. Letters to the commander of the 4th Precinct, as well as the lieutenant in the 4th Precinct, have been set up for security, as well as volunteers from our Fathers Club. Fire department is on standby and will be on premises for EMS the whole weekend. And we have Oceanside, Town of Hempstead, District 7, providing us with a truck the whole weekend, plus our maintenance staff with garbage cans picking it up. And we have our volunteer Fathers Club running security.
Hopefully they're not armed.
No,
Okay.
just the undercover cops are.
Do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that case 350 of 2023 in Oceanside, St. Anthony's Roman Catholic Church, as been previously described by Mr. Cicero, be approved as requested.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed and abstentions? Next.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case 36523, Merrick, South Nassau Hellenic Community Incorporated, doing business as St. Demetrios Greek Orthodox Church. amusement rides special event, duration June 15th, 2023 through June 18th, 2023 with tents. Rain dates June 23rd, 2023 through June 25th, 2023, also known as church parking lot. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Joseph Rocco with Rocco & Rocco PC, 3601 Hempstead Turnpike, Lebanon, New York.
Morning.
Good morning, Chairman and ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Joseph Rocco. I'm legal counsel to St. Demetrius, and I'm also the vice president of the parish council as well. Today I'm here in support of our application for a permit for our summer festival that we hold every year. We usually do it on Father's Day weekend. This year it'll be Thursday, June 15th from 5 to 10 p.m., Friday, June 16th from 5 to 10 p.m., Saturday, June 17th from 1 to 11 p.m., and Sunday, June 18th, 1 to 10 p.m. Music this year, we are having a DJ like we did last year. In fact, our DJ is also a parish council member, so we are able to control any and all noise issues. We have, for the last 3 years, restructured how we have the music set up to keep the speakers facing inward, to address any concerns from the past that we had from neighbors that the bands were too loud and wouldn't listen to us to lower their music.
What time do
What-
you
No, go
anticipate
ahead.
music ending in each evening?
On Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, the music ends at 10. Actually, on Sunday, it ends 9:30, because then we do our raffles. But Thursday and Friday, the music will end at 10. Saturday, it ends at 11.
I think traditionally, we've always done it at 10 each
10?
night.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yep, whatever's in the order.
The request is for 11.
Right, only on Saturday, but whatever the order says, we follow as
The
usual.
ordinance says that music stops at 10.
10, then I'll keep it at 10. The festival will continue for that last hour, but the music will be
fine,
off
just the music.
10 o'clock on all four
Thank you.
four nights, no problem. The food we serve is done on site. We have gyro stations, Slovakia stations. We also then have a tent for the homemade Greek food. Beverages, we applied for our temporary beer, wine, and cider permit that should be coming in from New York State, as we get every year. We only have one place where it's sold in a tent, and it's done by the parish council members to confirm everybody's ID is 21 or older.
How many years have you done this festival? Not you, but the...
Oh, this has been 45 plus. I took over in 2014 for the previous attorney, parish council member that's been doing it, so this is now my 9th year coming in front of you, except for the COVID year when we lost, 2020. Sanitation, we have a private dumpster on site that gets emptied every night. We work with the Nassau County 7th Precinct for security. We also have parish council members wearing special security shirts. I'm one of them. That's there all 4 nights. And then we have private security at night when the place is closed. We use the church's bathroom facilities and running water for the for food and for sanitation purposes. And every year, we never seem to have any problems. Whatever questions were brought up by the community was always addressed by me. I've always given them my phone number. There's no one here today because I think we've resolved all issues and have been running smoothly. We do send our Goya, which is the youth association of the church, to go out on wellness walks around the property for pickup of any garbage, make sure there's no parking issues, and it's been running smooth for the last 45 years.
Do I have it? Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that case 365 of 2023 in Merrick, as was described by Mr. Rocco, South Nassau Hellenic Community, Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church special event, be approved as requested.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
Mr. Rocco.
Thank you. Enjoy your summer. Thank you.
Next, we have case 135623, West Hempstead, St. Thomas the Apostle Roman Catholic Church. Amusement rides, special events, duration June 14th, 2023 through June 18th, 2023, with tents, southeast corner of Westminster Road and Argyle Road, also known as church parking lot. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Mitchell Farbman. My address is 24 Westminster Road, West Hempstead, New York. I'm here representing the new pastor at St. Thomas the Apostle Church. Okay. I'm representing the new pastor at St. Thomas the Apostle Church, Father Anthony Stanganelli.
You better make this case. You better make this case for it. I got it.
Okay. They've had the event for many years until the pandemic. This is the first one since the pandemic. We have rides. We have a beer and wine license from the State Liquor Authority. We already have it. We will have rides, games, and we will be dancing in a structure called the Giglio at the festival. It's in the parking lot at 12 and 24 Westminster Road, which is the church parking lot. We're totally in the parking lot. We've provided sanitation through District 6, yes, with Mr. Fredericks. We've made arrangements for pickups and to get trash cans and other things. We've requested stanchions from the Highway Department. We've been in touch with the inspector at the 5th Precinct, giving him all the details. He's going to supply people to patrol our festival as well as auxiliary people.
Music?
We have live entertainment every evening. We're running it from June 14th to June 18th. June 14th, 15th, and 16th, it's from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. June 17th, which is Saturday, it's from 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And Sunday, June 18th, it's from 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
What are the hours of your entire festival on each day? No, he just said the music.
Said the music.
No. That's the hours of the entire festival, I'm sorry, but there's entertainment each night.
Okay, so the hours you just gave us are,
6 to 10
7.
on the weekends, Saturday 2 to 11, Sunday 2 to 10.
but on the, but in any case, the music will end by 10.
10 o'clock, yes, yes.
Any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I would just make a motion that case 1356 of 2023, West Hempstead, St. Thomas, the Apostles Roman Catholic Church, that the event scheduled for June 14th through June 18th be approved as requested.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Have a great event.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case 35123, Elmont, the Mother of God with Eternal Life, care of Pascalina Fontana. Renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 203 Gotham Avenue. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Morning. My name is Michael W. Holland. My address is 421 Willis Avenue, Williston Park, New York, and I'm appearing on behalf of the petitioner, the Mother of God with Eternal Life. Yes, I'm here to renew the two-family permit that was issued. Actually, it appears that it was originally issued in 1968 and then qualified in 1983 by this board.
I'm just looking back at the prior grant, a couple questions. The prior grant, I guess, let me see if this address matches, 203 Gotham, yeah. The prior grant was to Maria Josephine
D'Onofrio. Yes, Ms. D'Onofrio had been associated with the Mother of God with Eternal Life.
Right,
and-
I think my question's easier than that.
Oh,
Whatever paperwork is necessary to make sure that it it appears under the new name on my calendar, so I'm assuming all necessary paperwork, just make sure that that happens so that it goes forward under the right name. I think it will. But my bigger question is, let me just see, is it required to be owner-occupied? Yes.
Yes.
And is it so occupied?
It is, basically, what we're in the process, we signed a contract to sell the property. Because of the law, this permit first came to our attention in the title report, when the purchaser's title company disclosed it. We had to make well, not we, but when Ms. D'Onofrio transferred the property to the Mother of God with eternal life, she, unbeknownst to us, for the first several occasions, handled the application of the town on her own. And then she met with in 2016, she met with a very serious health issue. We were unaware of the fact that this permit existed, and we became aware of it in the title report. We have entered into a contract to sell the property. The individuals who were purchasing the property have been identified, their driver's licenses, their electric bills, their phone bills, everything has been submitted to the building department. There's been an inspection. It will be only owner-occupied by the new purchasers.
Well, one unit has to be owner-occupied,
Yes,
right, because that's 2 units.
yes, we understand that, as does the purchaser.
Okay. I mean, in other words, unlike a mother-daughter situation where the owners, right?
Yes,
In the case of this two-family, only 1 unit has to be owner-occupied.
That's
But
correct.
you've made them aware of it, I understand, make sure all that paperwork, it sounds like
They
you've got that
are
done.
fully aware of it and have been cooperating with the building department throughout.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the building department inspected the premises on November 21st, 2022, and found that all the prior conditions imposed by this board have been complied with. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, sir?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Holland, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you and have a
Okay.
nice day.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Next, we have case 35223, Belmore, Thomas and Mary Donato. Renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 2470 Grand Avenue.
Is there anyone here on this case? Mark it second.
Next, we have case 35323, Baldwin, Gabrielle and Brittany D. Campellon. Renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 2063 Walnut Street. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please state your name and address for the record.
Good morning, Brittany Camplon, 2063 Walnut Street, Baldwin, New York, 11510.
Morning.
Good morning.
So you're here to renew a grant to maintain a two-family dwelling.
Yes.
The board, the building department inspected the premises on March 10, 2023, and found that you're in compliance with all previously imposed conditions, and,
I just have a question.
go ahead.
So this also was previously granted in a new name, but it does appear on our calendar. Are you the person who lives there?
I'm the owner, yes,
Yeah.
Brittany
Okay, and you
Camplon.
live in one of the units?
Correct.
Okay. And,
To maintain.
I guess I have no further questions.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, she doesn't have it.
Patrick?
Okay, next we have case 35423, Baldwin, 764 Sunrise LLC. Renewal of grant to maintain drive-through window in conjunction with Dunkin' Donuts, also known as 764 Sunrise Highway. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Good
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. William Benesso for Chelly Deegan Tarana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, here on behalf of the applicant, 764 Sunrise LLC. This morning, the applicant is seeking renewal of a grant to maintain their drive-through window in conjunction with their Dunkin' Donuts situated at 764 Sunrise Highway. As it happens, this afternoon, they'll be before you seeking variance to replace the menu boards at that site with digital menu boards, but this is simply for the renewal of the drive-through. I've reviewed the file. The file indicates, the inspection report indicates that all conditions have been met and continue to be in place, so we would ask the board grant the renewal application.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Benesso, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Next, we have cases 35523 through 35723. Merrick, Diana Rodov. Special exception to maintain accessory structure, outdoor kitchen exceeding horizontal maximum. Special exception to maintain second accessory structure, gazebo, higher and larger than permitted, exceeding horizontal maximum and with lot area occupied variance. Variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, maintain sauna attached to dwelling, also known as 3419 Jamie Street. Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Thank you. Good morning, members of the board, Mr. Chair. My name is Mark Anthony Monastery, architect. My office is located at 1563 Belmore Avenue in Belmore. And today I'm representing the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Rodov, who are the owners and occupants of the subject property. I would like to submit 3 pictures because this is all located in the backyard. I'm not sure if anybody was able to get into the backyard. Gives you a good view of the items we're going to be chatting.
We'll accept those in evidence.
Good. So this morning, we're requesting variances to maintain an outdoor kitchen with the gazebo that covers it, which both do not meet the horizontal maximum. The building department is considering them 2 separate structures, so we would like to maintain a second accessory structure as well. The gazebo is additionally slightly higher than permitted, along with a freestanding outdoor sauna, which puts the property over lot coverage, and the sauna does not meet the side yard or combined side yard. Once you get a chance to look at the pictures, you'll see the sauna itself is not actually connected to the house, but it's abutting the house. They are considering it part of the house because of its close proximity. So our first request is for the gazebo, which is considered the second accessory structure, and its length is 16 foot running north and south, 12 foot in the other direction, which it's only permitted to be 12 feet. Additionally, the gazebo is 10 feet in height instead of the 9 feet permitted. As you can see from the pictures, this is a typical prefabricated aluminum structure, which you would buy at one of the big box stores such as Costco.
It's not permanent, is it?
It's not what?
It's not permanent.
It is not permanent, no, sir.
Okay.
It is actually, though, it does have clips that hold it down to the concrete surface, but it's still not considered permanent.
Why isn't it permanent? It's bolted to the ground, it's not going to be disassembled and moved.
Well, either way, you're here because you want to make sure you're getting it moved permanent.
Yes. So, but I wouldn't consider it a permanent structure because it's removable.
We'll grant it
What's
permanent.
the overall size?
12 by 16.
No, that's the length. Oh, did you do
No.
the?
Say it again.
I'll use my phone. I just want to put the larger number on the record. You know, 144 versus,
So it's,
I'll do the math.
How many square feet?
okay.
Okay, so it's 192 square feet where 144 is allowable.
Correct. Below that is the outdoor kitchen, which is also slightly longer at 12.29 feet instead of the 12 feet required
Okay.
or permitted. Lastly is the outdoor sauna. The building department has considered this as a connected structure because of its proximity to the house and not a freestanding structure. In so, the sauna does not meet the minimum side yard of 5, but instead has a side yard of 4.15 feet and an aggregate side yard of 12.05 feet instead of 15. If you notice, the property itself is kind of a pie-shaped, so they're taking it from the 2 closest locations. There are two open permits that are part of the original construction, which include an addition and a pool, which my client would like to close these all out in one shot. That concludes my case.
Yeah.
Do you know if they have either an application pending? The 6-foot fence,
Is part of the pool permit.
pardon me?
The 6-foot fence is part of the pool permit.
And it's an open permit.
It is, sir.
But I'm talking about the portion of it that goes forward of the dwelling. If it's unclear if, well, hold on, it's unclear what goes forward of the dwelling. Maybe that's the neighbor's fence, the way it goes down and over.
I believe that is the neighbor's fence. My client's on the south side ends at the fence that returns to the house.
Okay.
And then on the north side returns into that fence itself. As you can see, that continues forward, and the neighbor's northerly property, and that's it.
Mr. Monastery, my suggestion to my colleagues on the board is that you submit to this board a site plan that was approved pursuant to building permit number 219-27410, which is install an 18 by 30-foot in-ground swimming pool with the 6-foot fence enclosure to code, so that we're sure exactly where the fence lies issued with this permit. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Good.
Also, actually, now that you mention it, the other issue, if that is the neighbor's fence, we do need to make sure that, for example, that there is fencing of your clients that
Right.
surrounds the pool. If that, I don't know what all, there's 2 fences along that line, but I don't want the neighbor pulls down the fence and the pool is not enclosed.
I'm going to submit not only this site plan, but I'll submit pictures from all directions of those fences themselves.
Yeah, just the pictures would tell us whose fence it is. So just make sure it's your client's fence.
Will do.
On that one border, and not only the neighbor's,
Understood.
Do you know if you've received any complaints from any of the neighbors?
No, sir.
No, sir, you don't know, or you haven't received any?
We have not received any.
Okay.
Is that your case, Mr. Munster?
That is my case, yes.
Do I have any other questions from the board? If
Chairman,
not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Montessori, you have been notified by mail the board's decision was surrendered.
Thank you all.
Second? All in favor? Any opposed? Montessori.
Next, we have cases 360-23 through 361-23, North Belmore, Irving and Annette Mayons. Variance side yard, maintain AC unit attached to dwelling. Variance side yard, maintain wood deck attached to dwelling, also known as 1390 Liberty Avenue.
Yes, I do. My name is Hugh Schaefer, 174 West Merrick Road, Merrick, New York, 11566, appearing for the applicant Irving and Annette Moyes at 1390 Liberty Avenue, North Belmore, New York. Good morning, Mr. Chairman,
Morning.
ladies and gentlemen. This application was filed some 2 years ago, actually before COVID. And we have a permit for the shed, we have a permit for the fence, and there's a pending application for the kitchen and bathroom alteration, which is not before the board and does not require a variance. However, it's being held because of the AC permit and the deck permit applications, which are before the board today. The deck was built some 12 years ago by a contractor who has since retired, and the encroachment of the deck is not the deck itself, but it's the platform, which is 3 foot by 3 foot, which gives you egress to the steps to come off the deck into the side yard. The requirement is 5 feet. It's only 2.96, and it's only a 3 by 3 platform that's only for egress. In addition to that, near that is an AC unit that only has a 4-foot side yard, which requires 5. And that's been there for a number of years as well. And if the board would be nice enough to approve these applications, then all permits could be inspected and approved. We also have the electrical certificate as of now, and the Moyers can move on. They don't want to leave these problems for their children. And that concludes my case today. I have a letter from the abutting property owner, which is most affected by the side yard, that has no opposition to the board granting this application.
We'll accept that in evidence.
Is that your case, Mr.?
That's my case.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I would move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Schaefer, you'll be notified by mail the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you, and have a
Second.
nice day.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have case 362.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Next, we have case 362-23, Merrick, Susan Mulchan, Sally Mulchan, Sandy Mulchan, and Rouhani Mulchan, mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, also known as 2310 Wyndham Avenue. Please raise your hand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self you got? Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Sally Mulchan, and our address is 2310 Winston Avenue, Merrick, New York, 11566. My mother and I, we bought a mother-daughter house, so we had to file a new application to maintain the second, new application, mother-daughter application to maintain the second kitchen.
Morning.
Yeah.
Through that process of applying for the mother-daughter approval, were you given a mother-daughter fact sheet?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and
Yes.
everyone who's, I see there are at least, are there 4 owners?
Yes, yes.
And each of the owners is aware of that, and the fact that it's unique to this group.
Yes,
And if
yes.
you were to sell the house, it needs to be, the second kitchen would have to be
Yes.
removed.
Yes.
In addition, the requirements that it always look like a single-family dwelling, 1 doorbell, 1 mailbox, 1 primary entrance, et cetera.
Yes.
Okay, is the second kitchen already in the,
Yes, it is.
was it in it when you purchased it?
Yes, it was.
And, I guess, do me a favor, can you name, it looks like are there 9 people?
Yes.
Okay, so in the primary housekeeping unit, can you just give me the names of the individuals who will be living there?
My mom,
No, by name.
No.
Rahani Mulchan,
So slow down, say it again.
Rahani Mulchan,
Okay,
Sally Mulchan,
okay,
Sandy Mulchan,
okay.
and, no, Susan will be on the second
Wait,
floor.
wait.
Yes.
So far I have Sandy, Sally, and Rouhani.
Yeah,
Muchan.
yeah.
Who else will live there?
All of us, yeah.
No, I just need you to name the other 2 people who will be in the first unit, and then we'll do the second unit.
Maheshwari Gisyawan.
Wait, no, Maheshwari is in the second unit.
Oh, she is? Oh,
Do you guys live there now?
yes, we do. We've been living there for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about I just name them?
Yeah.
So
I didn't
in
want.
unit number 2,
Yes.
you've indicated on the sheet, Rouhani Muchan, Sandy Muchan, Sally Muchan,
Yeah.
Rohini,
Yes. Gisyawan.
and Sohan
Danpat. Yes, yes.
That's unit, primary housekeeping.
Yes, yes, that's ours.
Second unit is Suzanne Muchan, Thodaram Jade,
Jagdev.
sorry. That's okay. Ms. Swanee, same other last name.
Yeah.
And Jessica
Gisyawan.
Gisyawan. Okay, is there anyone else, including children, residing in the house?
No, no.
Got the search sheet. How many cars do you have?
4.
And is there room to park those cars off-street?
I can't hear you.
Is there room to park all 4 cars off-street?
Yes, there is. Yes.
Have a long driveway.
Give us a second, let's find a few more.
Okay.
You want to look at this one too? Basement? I'm looking.
So I just want to go through a few things. It looks like are there two entrances to the cellar from outside or one?
From the basement, there is one entrance going out, and that's it.
And one goes out?
Yeah, in the backyard, there is one there,
Okay.
yeah.
And then there's an
And then
entrance.
the
There's
side.
stairs in the front. I don't know, I can't tell if they go outside once they get
No,
up.
in the front, you go into the house, and there's a side door that have a stoop there also, then you can go in from the side.
So from the side, I
Yeah.
can go in and
Into the-
straight
yeah,
down?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's the kind of scenario that sometimes if you were to sell the house gets misused. So
Oh,
we
okay,
always, now down in the basement, what all is down there?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
What is in the basement?
Okay, we have a legal bathroom that's in the basement, and we had filed a permit to maintain that bathroom.
You filed it and already gotten?
Yes,
the
approved,
approval,
everything
the final-
approved, yes.
Okay, what else is down there?
That's about it.
How many fixtures are in the bathroom, in the basement?
What do you mean by fixture?
Is there a tub
Tub,
and shower?
shower.
Okay, I have a shower, I have a sink, and a toilet.
And, for example, is there carpeting down there or vinyl flooring, or how finished is it?
It's fully finished. We have like carpets, not carpet, vinyl tiles, the plastic
Okay.
vinyl ones, yeah.
Okay. And is there like, sheet rock on the walls, et cetera?
Yes, yes.
But it's all one big room?
Yes, one whole big space
Okay.
for
And
storage.
who uses that area?
No, but it's for storage. We just put our stuff in there.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
as it relates to the primary, the kitchen, and is it the second floor that's the main unit or the next floor up?
The first floor is
Okay.
the main unit.
So there's only 3 bedrooms in this house?
There is 2 on the first floor, and there's 3 on the second floor.
Oh, okay. Maybe the prayer room is a bedroom?
Yes, yes. It's considered a room, so that's why I said that.
So we have a letter from a neighbor indicating that there are 12 people living there, 10 adults, 2 children, and that there are 8 cars associated with the premises.
That's not true. That is not true.
There are no children living there.
Yes, there is one child living there.
Which one, what's the name of the
It's
child?
Jessica Gisiawan.
That's one of the people I already named?
Yes, yes. She goes to school.
That's the 5-year-old,
Yeah.
and no other children.
No.
And there are only 8 adults. No one other than the people we've discussed
Yes,
lives
yes.
there.
Mhm.
Because you didn't know all the people's names who live there, that's why.
It's confusing. I didn't walk with my paperwork, and our agent is supposed to represent us, but last minute he told me, well, he's the one that filled out all my paperwork, so I gave them all of my IDs and everything, and he filled out our paperwork, and last minute he's calling me Friday telling me that he's going to be charging additional $1,200 fee to show up here, but I don't have that kind of money to give him, so I showed up to represent ourselves. So that's why I paid him to prepare all the paperwork for us. So, and last minute, he's telling me he can't show up to the hearing because he's scheduled for vacation.
Who is your agent?
Captain Permit, I had paid them, Captain Permit, I paid him to do all the construction permit for us, the basement permit, and mother-daughter permit to file it for us because I recently moved from Queens to Long Island, so I don't really know the rules of the town. So I paid them, and last minute he's telling me about this fee that he's going to be on vacation, his staff, and he's going to be understaffed.
Yeah,
So I understand that, but so I told him I can't afford $1,200, so I decided to show up
Right, no,
myself.
I was just questioning it because when I asked you who lived in the house, you couldn't
Yeah.
really name everyone, so I just want to make sure you actually
Yes, yes,
knew
no,
them.
those are all family members, immediate family members.
the Board of Architectural Review always reviews the applications
Yes,
for
yes.
mother-daughter permits that come before this board. Oftentimes, the Board of Architectural Review makes comments or recommendations as to changes that might be necessary in order to make the application suitable for a mother-daughter use. In this case, the Board of Architectural Review has found that the dwelling is suitable for this use and restorable to a single-family dwelling.
Yes,
Once that use ceases, provided no illegal occupancy be in the basement.
Yes,
So you're all aware of that?
yes. Yes, yes.
Okay. One more. Just look at this. And how many entrances are there to the house from the outside?
Okay, there's one in the front, there's one in the back, and there's one in the side.
And there's one.
On the side.
What about the basement?
There's one
This-
side that has two entrances. I think it's the back.
The basement, there's, yes, yeah,
First floor entrance.
I think
yeah,
four.
yes.
Okay, that's two. And there's one in the back. See, if you pick, there's one on the front, I see, that's three.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing a picture of this, oh, yep.
Yeah,
There's a side entrance.
yes.
Is there a gate to go up onto the deck? Is the deck on the front or the back of the sort of
The deck is in the, no, there's the porch in the front, and there's a balcony on the back.
Sorry, I'm just trying to reconcile.
Okay, okay.
Wow, that's a tight fit on the cars, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really.
Do you park all four cars on the street?
Yes, yes, sometimes. Oh, that's a. Oh, no, you close it. No, 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 no. There's no gate there. Yeah, it closes, yeah. Yeah.
And what about that, what's in the detached garage?
Oh, it's just an old garage.
Storage?
Yeah, storage is really old, yeah.
No cars parked in there?
No, you can't. I really can't fit one in there. I really can't fit one because it's so tight. But it is a 1.5 garage. Mhm. Yeah, but it's really small inside, and the door is small. Yeah.
Is the door big enough for a car?
I never tried it, so I wouldn't know. It's a garage door. You can lift up. Yeah.
Okay, so that you're aware, on occasion, either one or more of the board members will come to inspect some of the homes.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you may get one of us showing up, or more than one of us showing up.
Okay.
All right, do you have any large dogs in the home?
No.
Okay.
Large dogs. Oh, no.
Do I have any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Everyone who signed in on the case will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you for coming, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Aye.
All in favor?
Next, we have case 36323, Wantaw, Michael Simon and Nicole Den. Special exception to maintain shed with roof over larger than permitted, exceeding horizontal maximum and with lot area occupied variance, also known as 3196 Poplar Place. Name and address for the record.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Gregory
What's the trip
Mindel.
this morning? Long ride this morning?
Yes. Gregory Mindel, 531 Lime Rock Road, Lakeville, Connecticut, 06039. Appearing for the owner, Michael Simon and Michelle Den. of, Nicole Den, sorry, of 3196 Poplar Place, Wantagh, New York. We're here this morning requesting permission to maintain a shed with roof over attached, exceeding the maximum horizontal than allowed and with more lot coverage than allowed by ordinance. We're located in a residential B zone. The existing shed was there when the owner purchased the home in 2012. The shed is approximately 20 foot 8 inches in length. That's with the roofed over area by 8 foot 4 inches in depth. It is 8 foot 2 inches in height, so it is below the maximum allowable height. The roofed over area is approximately 10 foot 4 inches by 8 foot 4 inches in size. The lot coverage allowed would be 27.5% in this zone. Currently, as proposed, we're 26.8%. With the shed, we are 28.8%. So we exceed by 1.3% or 112 square feet, which is basically the roofed over area of this shed.
That area
And
will be kept open?
It will be
And
kept
your client
open.
will agree to a condition to that effect?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Mr. Mindel, I just want to put the numbers on the record because they cited for horizontal and larger. I know you gave us the individual numbers.
Yes.
But as a whole, what did the building department determine the larger was and the horizontal?
The maximum horizontal is 12 foot, we're 20 feet 8 inches in
Okay,
length.
and on the larger, can you give me that number?
That's the, it's not higher, it's just.
No, larger. You need
Larger.
the larger number. So it's 20.8 by what? 8.4?
Well, what they mean is, oh, you mean the lot area of the shed?
You know how you're not allowed to have over 144 square feet?
Correct.
They rejected it for exceeding that, so they clearly took them together. So if it's 20.8 by 8.4, is that it? Are those your numbers?
170 feet. About
1 second. We're 172
Okay.
minus 144, we exceed by 28 square feet in
All
that
right.
respect.
I just wanted to know what it was
Yes.
versus the 140.
I can submit to you aerial photographs in which you can see the location of the shed structure. What you'll notice is that the property most affected to the rear of this property actually has a leg of their property that extends off of this. So we are physically as far from the neighboring property as possible, and you can see that it's actually a treed-in area, so the shed is obstructed from the abutting neighbor. The neighbor that would appear to be south of them is actually separated by the other neighbor's leg of their property. There have been no objections to this shed. It's used to store pool equipment now and patio furniture. It's maintained in good condition.
If you said it already, I apologize. How did your client come to know it needed to be legalized?
We were filing for a proposed pool, and thus we made sure that everything on the property was legal, so when the building inspector went there, we have no issues. We like to obtain the CFC at the end of the jobs.
Thank you.
Mr. Mindel, is that your case?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Mindel, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Next, we have case 36423, Uniondale. Arlie Brand and Jose A. Salazar, mother-daughter, residence, second kitchen, also known as 416 Northern Parkway. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the true self you got? Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552.
Hi, my name is Arely Brand. I live on 416 Northern Parkway, Uniondale, New York, 11553.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board.
Morning.
I'm representing Arlie Brand and Jose Salazar of 416 Northern Parkway in Uniondale. The property is located on the east side of Northern Parkway, 255.38 feet north of Nassau Road in Residence B. We're requesting a variance to maintain a second kitchen for mother-daughter use. The owners, Arlie Brand and Jose Salazar, occupy the primary kitchen on the first floor, along with their 6-year-old daughter, Olivia. The second apartment is occupied by her daughter, Nancy Arlie Brand, 27. Nancy could not be here today. She is in the Navy, and Mrs. Brand does have her military ID on her phone, but wasn't comfortable making a copy of it, but just to prove that she is, yeah. And her son Jesse is upstate right now. There are enough off-street parking for 4 vehicles. The owner read the mother-daughter fact sheet, and they've been made aware that if this is approved, it only pertains to them, and that any change of occupancy or sale or lease of the property, the kitchen must be removed by a licensed plumber and a plumbing permit filed for the removal of it. There is only 1 electric meter, 1 mailbox, 1 doorbell, and they're also aware that the open permits will need to be closed out as well.
The owner's son will reside at the premises once he returns from wherever?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Pangaro, as you know, Board of Architectural Review reviews each application for mother-daughter permit to determine whether or not it's suitable for that use and restorable to a single-family dwelling upon the cessation of that use. In the case of this application, the Board of Architectural Review has determined it's suitable and restorable once the mother-daughter use, and has made no recommendations as to changes that might be necessary in order to do so.
Yes, we're aware of that, and she has been made aware of that as well.
And you've apprised her of all the other issues related to it, I know. You've done this, it's not your first rodeo, right?
No.
Is that your case?
Yes, it is.
Okay, do I have any other questions from the board?
Move the hearing be closed and matter placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Bangallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed and abstentions?
Next, we have case 36623, near Floral Park, Marsha Voorhees, mother-daughter residence, also known as 247 Schenck Boulevard. Everybody, stand and raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Marsha Varghese, 247 Schenck Boulevard, Floral Park.
CB Varghese, 247 Schenck Boulevard. Varghese P. Matthew, 247 Schenck Boulevard.
Good morning. I am requesting a mother-daughter permit for my residence at 247 Schenck Boulevard. I will reside in the house with my mother, Sibi Varghese, and my father, Varghese Matthew. We understand the town requirements that we're only to have 1 doorbell, 1 set of utility meters. This is not a 2-family home, and the second kitchen will be removed if the house changes ownership. We have 3 cars that can all be fit in the driveway. This completes our case. Thank you.
How many bedrooms do you have in the house?
There's 2 on the main floor and 1 upstairs.
How many bathrooms?
There's 1 on each floor for a total of 3.
1 being in the basement?
Correct. Yes. Yeah, correct. There's 3 bathrooms.
A couple of rooms in it and a bathroom, and so it's finished.
The basement is finished, correct. We just bought the house in August, so all the permits are still under the prior owner's name, but they all had permits.
And what is the basement? I see there's a couple closets. What is the basement used for?
Storage and also our washer dryer.
I'll inspect this one.
Did you go over the search sheet, Joe?
Should be in the chair.
Couple things. When you made, if you said this already, I apologize. When you applied for approval as a mother-daughter dwelling, You were given a fact sheet and certain conditions that included conditions related to a mother-daughter application.
Correct.
And you read all those and understand that if it were granted, it's unique to your group. Upon cessation of the use and/or sale, the kitchen has to be taken out, has to revert to a single-family dwelling. It has to look like a single-family dwelling. I see in the photographs it does right now. One doorbell, one mailbox, one electric meter, You understand all that?
Correct, I understand.
And, how many vehicles do you have? If you've said already, I apologize.
A total of 3 vehicles.
Okay, and how many of those can you park off of the street?
They can all be fit in the driveway.
Okay, and do you park them all in the driveway?
Currently, no.
How many?
But they can all be fit in the driveway. Right now, there's street parking that we're able to use,
But
but
customarily, do you at least put one of them in the driveway?
yeah, definitely.
And you have 3, each of you has a vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to find, one second. I just need.
If I may, you have how many bedrooms on the second floor?
The upstairs level has 1 bedroom, and then 1 is like a living space, but could also be a bedroom. Right
And
now,
how-
we use it for
How many on
recreation.
the first floor?
2 bedrooms on the first floor.
It's Cape. So it's got a total of 4.
So as you probably heard me say on the prior mother-daughter application, the Board of Architectural Review reviews each application for mother-daughter approval to make sure that it's both suitable for that sort of use and restorable upon the cessation of use to a single-family residence. And they often make suggestions, maybe a door at the top of the stairs or remove one, et cetera. In your case, they have made no such recommendations and have determined that it's suitable for use as a mother-daughter use and restorable easily or properly to
take this
single-family
one, too.
dwelling at the cessation of that use. So I want you to have that on the record. We also, I'd like to make you aware, we did receive an email from someone in the neighborhood. I don't believe there's a name associated with it. People are allowed to submit comments anonymously, which I want to read you. This person is opposed to us granting mother-daughter at the residence, claiming it's a multifamily rental and not a mother-daughter house. Realtor.com listed 2-bedroom, 1-bath rental apartment on September 25th of 2022 for the address 243 Schenck Boulevard. The apartment occupancy appears to be 4 adults, 1 school-age child with 3 vehicles associated to rental, 2 livery and 1 personal vehicles. And then it describes the zoning there, which we already know what it is. The previous owner had a mother-daughter for many years until the house was sold August 2022 with no opposition, so I just give you that. 247 it says. That's what it says. Did I say 3? I apologize, 247, my bad. So other than that,
You heard me say earlier that on occasion, either one or more than one of the board members will come to inspect some of the homes. This is probably going to be one of them.
Okay.
Okay, do you have any large dogs or any other vicious animals that we should be aware of? Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you who've signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's read.
Okay.
Thank you,
Second.
and have a safe.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
Thank you.
Next, we have case 36723, Merrick, Joe Berkowitz, Variance, lot area occupied, maintained second-story deck with stairs attached to dwelling, also known as 3361 C. Wayne Drive. Swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat, state your name and address.
Sorry, back. Okay. Easy one.
Lisa Koshia with Permits Are Us, 338 Jericho Turnpike, number 396, Syosset, New York, 11791. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board.
Morning.
I'm here representing Mr. Berkowitz, who wishes to maintain and legalize the second-story deck attached to the dwelling. This property is located in a Residence B zone. The lot coverage is 31.7%, where the required is 27.5%. The deck has existed for about 8 years without incident. To my knowledge, there are no complaints on file. Mr. Berkowitz respectfully requests your approval. Yes. Residence B? Correct. 31.7, we're 27.5. That's okay.
And that's the only variance you need.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
No, I'm sorry. I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you'll be notified. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstention?
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Next.
Next, we have case 36823, Wantagh, Corinne and Jason Bragg. Variance, average front yard setback, construct second-story addition, two-story addition, and front portico, all attached to dwelling, also known as 1553 Forest Lake Boulevard.
Good morning, distinguished board. My name is Michael Degnan. I'm a registered architect since 1992. I'm a principal at Long Island Architecture Studio. Our office is located at 1943 Wantagh Avenue. My clients are Jason and Corinne Bragg, the homeowners at 1553 Forest Lake Boulevard in Wantagh. They have a young and growing family with 3 children under the age of 5. Jason is a New York City police officer, and Corinne an elementary public school teacher in the town of Hempstead in the hamlet of Franklin Square. They have owned the house since 2014, love their community neighbors, and moving to accommodate their space needs would be a tremendous burden. Corinne is actually in the rear of the room as a sign of her commitment, and she has also secured 6 signatures from surrounding neighbors in favor of the project. I'd like to submit that as Exhibit A. The subject property is located in zoning district Residence A. The proposed work includes a new detached garage, a new second floor, and a new front portico. We are requesting a variance for the average front yard setback. Yes, sir.
You said includes a new detached garage.
A new, I'm sorry, it's a new attached garage.
Okay, because I didn't see the garage.
But the garage is not before us, I take it.
Well, it would be
I'm
from my area.
There was an existing detached garage. The proposal is to remove the detached garage and build an attached garage.
Is that what it says, proposed 2-story addition on my site plan?
Yes. Yes,
it's a
exactly.
garage
The garage is,
with an above
Something above it.
yes, sir.
living space?
Yes, the garage is on the right. And the 2-story addition is across the whole house.
Thank you.
So your front yard, just let me cut to the chase here, you only really need one variance, right?
We only need one
And
variance.
that's a front yard average, and I'm going by your diagram, your chart now. The minimum front yard average for the 200 is 31.49. It exists currently at 30.84, and you propose to reduce that to 26.5. Is that
Well,
right?
in
And in
cer-
every other way, you're in compliance with all zoning requirements.
Yes, but the 26.5 is for the portico, which is a permitted encroachment.
But that would be the closest place the house
Yes.
was in terms, that's the shortest front yard you're
That is-
providing with this proposal.
Yes.
Nothing else really needs relief, except for the fact that because the house already is in a variance requiring condition, in a minor one, but the house currently, instead of the 31.49, the current house currently maintains 30.4. So that second story, even on the existing footprint, is going to necessitate that front yard average, even though, by all intents and purposes, it's a non-event. Likewise, sticking, putting that garage on the side, because it's coming out as far as the house, again, it ends up triggering a front yard average.
Yes.
And then you're putting on a small portico, which is this section that will reduce by about 4 feet, the front yard that the house currently maintains. So all said and done, what we're talking about is basically bumping out a front portico that reduces the front yard the house is going to provide by 4 feet. And that's the only thing you're here for.
Well,
Yes.
yes.
Is that your case?
Yes.
That's your case,
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I have any other questions from the board?
Move to close the matter is based on the city calendar. You will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Thank you as always for your help.
Thank you. All in-
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
Next, we have case 24223 Woodmere, Ronnie and Vanessa Lavowski. Variances, lot area occupied, height exceeds number of stories, rear yard, construct first, second, and third story additions and wood deck, all attached to dwelling, also known as 931 Eileen Terrace.
Thomas DeMonico, architect, 108 Merrick Road, Limbrook, New York.
Vanessa Lavovsky, 931 Eileen Terrace, Woodmere, New York.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This application has, we've been trying to get this application on for a couple months now, and no fault of yours or mine.
Pull the microphone a little
Oh,
closer.
sure, certainly. And I just want to clarify one thing. I had met with Mr. Carnaval, Lou Carnaval, from the building department in March, and on March 16th, the zoning determinations were complete. On the plans that you have in front of you, when I met with Mr. Carnaval, he instructed me on how to show this as not a three-story project. So if you go to drawing A3,
He instructed you how, as a...
right, so it is not technically a three-story house by code. That's not the latest set. The latest set was uploaded on the 15th of June,
Okay, let's
of
assume...
March.
Let's assume that...
I can give you my
Now,
set.
just a second. Did Mr. Carnavale, when he told you, allegedly told you that it's, how to show it as a non-three-story, why didn't he remove the objection? And that is still before us?
That I'm not sure of. I actually tried to get in touch with him earlier today. He's not available until this afternoon.
May I ask you, what, from the date, I just presumed that it was the most recent set, so from the set of plans of February 22nd, what changed, if we know?
So it's basically I added the information on the perimeter of the first floor. So as a split level, when you calculate the perimeter of the first floor, it's based on the larger perimeter of that area.
Forgive me, but I'm...
Structure did not change.
Forgive me, I'm going to interrupt you. Would you like to approach, please? Before we get into air. So,
And we'll need that, you'll leave us that to review. You
Yeah.
can keep it for the moment.
so what we're going to do is we're going to take partial testimony on this case. We're going to allow Mrs. Lavovsky to testify as to her needs, and the architect will come back this afternoon. That this will be an add-on after the afternoon calendar.
Hello. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Chairman, for members of the board. So I have written a letter regarding my daughter's special needs. She was born with a rare chromosome disorder, which made her, and actually my other son as well, with extremely low muscle tone. So ever since she was born, I've been dealing with multiple physical therapies, occupational therapies, speech therapies, feeding therapies. I mean, there's a therapist out there, you name it, she probably has it. So my home currently, We bought it not such a long time ago. We were thankfully, able to purchase a house, knowing it needed a lot of repair. So currently, in its current state, it's pretty dangerous because it needs a lot of love needs to be given to the home. Due to financial means, we decided, okay, if we're going to do it, let's do it once and let's do it right, because putting money here and here and here and here is just going to be too chaotic, especially for the kids, and a dangerous situation for the kids. So we are asking for a larger space because we want to convert our current master bedroom into a therapy room for my daughter specifically, for all the therapists she gets outside of school. And then my younger son also has physical therapy necessities. Our kids, we don't feel comfortable leaving the kids in a separate floor from us, so we are asking to expand the bedrooms upstairs. My boys currently share a room. I have 2 boys, older, and then I have my daughter. They currently share a room. They haven't been sleeping in the same room. I think my husband and I have been playing musical beds for about a year now, 4 years, I'm sorry, since my daughter was born. So they definitely, each one needs their own room. And I'm a licensed mental health therapist, and I do private work. So right now, my office is my car, which I definitely need a home office for my Zoom clients. So that's another part of why we need extra bedrooms. We're also asking to expand the kitchen and the dining room so that my kids can have a place to do their homework. That's not the same place where we're eating, because right now my current dining room serves as a multi-purpose room, office / homework room / dining room / meeting place / everything. So it's just really not conducive to a size of 5 people family. Also, my daughter needs a live-in aide to help during the day when I'm not home, when my husband's not home, because we're both working. And that's also going to be one of the rooms that are going to be taken over. So, and then I have an ailing father who's diabetic and stays with me for prolonged periods of time when he comes from Florida or from Argentina. And that's another reason why I need more space. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, yeah. I can.
Okay. We'll see you back this afternoon.
So that's it?
Do you want to offer the latest set of plans into evidence? So
Plans that show the structure is the exact
Right.
same structure as was on file, but you added some verbiage.
I'm going to take that with us.
Chairman has accepted that in evidence. And then,
Go ahead.
and then,
If I may add one thing.
Go right ahead.
Thank you. We are currently having a possibility for my family members to move into a space. I don't want to move my kids too much because of their special needs, so it's kind of like a one and go for me. I really can't be, I can't expose them to so much moving back and forth, like doing this so right now, by the end of the summer, I'm able to move to a space for them, temporarily while everything is in construction, because I can't have them live under construction like this.
so what does that mean to us?
No, nothing, just,
No, I'm not being sarcastic.
No, I know.
Are you telling us that to?
Like, I know that this has been,
Answer about the project sooner?
I mean, for me, time is of essence.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's what I wanted to know, if that's what you
Yes, thank you so much.
Yep. We'll see you at, what time? Patrick? It's an add-on, so. I don't think it's fair to do them first. Yeah. Would it be an imposition if we asked you to come back at 3?
3 o'clock would be fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Do you need me to come as well?
no.
Okay.
That's why we had to justify now.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Okay.
Next case.
Next, we have cases 323 through 30223 Point Lookout. Joseph and Lorraine Cifarelli. Variances: lot area occupied, front yard average setback, side yards aggregate, construct two-story dwelling. Use variance: height, construct two-story detached garage forward of dwelling with less than required side yard setback, and lot area occupied variance. Variances: lot area occupied, side yard, construct outside shower attached to proposed garage, also known as 79 Inwood Avenue.
I do. Want me to go first? Sure. Joe Cifarelli, 79 Inwood Avenue on Point Lookout, New York.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Michelle Cozzolino. My address is 8 Wandsor Avenue in Bayville, New York. I'm the agent for the property owner, Joseph and Lorraine Cifarelli. The subject property is 79 Inwood Avenue in Point Lookout, New York. It's also known as Section 61, Block 30, Lot 48 and 21. Located on the western side of the Inwood Avenue, 375 feet north of Beach Street, and located in a residential B zone. The property is 35 feet wide by 120 foot deep. It is a double lot that fronts both Inwood Avenue and Hewlett Avenue, giving it 4,200 square feet of property area. The proposed building permit applications that are in front of the board today are to construct a new FEMA-compliant dwelling consisting of 2 floors of living space with attic, crawl space below, and a detached garage with storage above. The first case in front of the board today is for the lot area occupied. The proposed lot coverage of all structures, the dwelling, the garage, the front porch, and the rear covered porch with deck above with outdoor shower is 47%. 30% is allowable for the dwelling and open porch.
Ms. Cozzolino?
Yes.
Sorry. What is the aggregate lot area occupied you propose?
We are proposing 47%.
I wasn't sure if that was, some people say, oh, this lot area has that, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you're in at 27.5, okay.
Yep.
Keep going.
The average front yard setback on Inwood Avenue is 5.8 feet. The proposed dwelling is 6 foot, and the second floor projection is 4.7 feet. The second floor projection is 1 foot 4 inches by 10. This is to create window seating in the 2 front bedrooms on the second floor. The side yard minimum is 5 feet. Proposed dwelling has a side yard of 3 feet on the south side and 6 foot on the north side. The existing dwelling is currently 2 feet away on the south side and 1.8 feet away on the northerly side of the property. We would be increasing the side yards on both sides by 1 foot on the south and 4.2 feet on the north. I have a existing survey of the property that was currently done.
We'll accept that in evidence.
Thank you. Thank you. The side yard aggregate required is 15 feet. 9 foot is being provided. The existing dwelling has a side yard aggregate of 3.8 feet. Any questions at this point?
Not yet.
For case number 301, the use of the detached garage. The proposed detached garage is a 2-story ground level for automobile parking, second floor for storage of patio furniture, beach chairs, seasonal items, etc. Story. It's practically because we have 2 porches, 2 rear decks on the back end of the property, of the dwelling, of the proposed dwelling, and we are looking to have storage for this furniture to go into during, the winter months. That's pretty much why it's there. It is not going to be habitable space. If the board would like to even put a condition in regards to it, that it is kept as storage and storage only, that would be A-okay with the homeowner. It would not be, I don't believe we have heat listed, but it would have electric and running water in the garage. Plumbing, heating is still in question. Mr. Cifarelli, if you would.
Why do you need heat?
We would need, yes. We have also an outdoor shower that we are going to be creating abutting the detached garage.
So the shower would be attached to that garage?
Correct.
It's an outdoor shower?
An outdoor shower, so it's literally PVC fencing that's being placed as an enclosure with a little roof over.
Okay. The concern is that it would be converted to living space,
Absolutely.
which is why we would not like plumbing inside, on an outside or something to that effect for seasonal, or for something that that can be restricted not to become habitable space. It's a use variance, which is kind of awkward to allow, except in this case, it's a small addition that's going up.
Correct.
Help us out.
Well, technically, what it is simply just storage. There's nothing really else to it. I don't know what else I can actually state besides the fact that it's required. They don't want to go and bring their patio furniture to this third area of the dwelling. So in order for all the outside fixtures to have a place to be stored, it would be over the garage area.
So why don't you consider the plumbing limited only to the outdoor shower?
Sure.
No inside sink and...
Understood.
Sir? Talk to us.
I would consider it, but I'm kind of confused, is that the lot in the back is a full, like, lot, 35 by 60. I'm not building a home on that piece of
understand.
property. And I'm trying to beautify the backyard the way it is. You know, it's just an empty lot. And no one's intention is to live in, there's no living, it's not a living space. But to run electric to the garage,
That's
to run water to the garage, you know what I mean? To have hot water for the outdoor shower is not unreasonable in
No.
any way. So I don't,
Perhaps I don't know, a toilet and a sink in the garage is...
there's no intention of that, no.
There's no toilet.
That's what perhaps
Yes, okay, so there's no...
you understand.
Yes. So, absolutely, there's no bathrooms, there's no toilet, there's no additional
So the-
sinks. It is simply for automotive storage on the first floor,
Yes.
on the grade, and then the secondary would be only storage only. The limited plumbing would be for the outdoor shower use, and that would be it.
Very well said.
I appreciate it, thank you. I also would like to submit on that behalf.
Your client agrees to that? Is that okay now?
Does my client agree to that?
Yes, I do, I agree to that.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, of course
Yes.
I want to agree.
Yes. I also have, I'd like to submit as evidence, I have 5 other similar, same height, applications that have been approved by the board in regards to the detached garage. May I continue, Mr. Pellegrini, or? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So the maximum height allowed, the average height allowed for a garage would be 12 feet to the center of the line of the structure. The overall height above the grade is 21 foot 1, and the overall height above the crown of the road would be 22 feet in total. I would like to submit the evidence for the board to review, of course, that have other properties that have built similar, that have gone in front of the board and been approved prior. The location of the garage is forwarded to the dwelling. The zoning states that a detached garage can be no closer to the street than the dwelling. The proposed garage is located 20 feet off the Hewlett Avenue property line. This allows for 2 parking spaces on the driveway, 1 inside the actual garage. Note that in Point Lookout, there's not to be any parking on the streets itself, so the Cifarellis are trying to provide automotive spots for their family. I'm sorry? Yes, the existing current house that's there is going to be knocked down and then rebuilt to what we are proposing.
Ms. Cozzolino?
Yes.
So the height variance on the garage, it's a 12 average allowable, right?
To the center point, yes.
Okay. 12 average, okay, whatever. So what is proposed? Is it 22 or? There's various numbers here.
It's 21 feet, 1 inch would be the proposed from grade to the top ridge of the actual structure, and it's 22 feet from the crown of the road. The credit
But
report
I
drops a
wanna-
little.
I want the number, I want to know the number that I would compare to the 12. Like, the 12 is the average allowable. What's the average proposed?
So the average proposed would be 16, and then the rest would be roof line.
I don't know what you mean by the rest would be roof line.
So the center point is the average 12-foot center point, usually without a variance, is 12 feet. And then the building department allows you to build a little higher in order to get the roof pitch on the actual garage. So they allow you, depending on...
higher?
Excuse me?
How much higher? What's the equation?
So they typically go anywhere, they double the wall height. So if the walls are 8 feet, they allow you 4 additional feet above the height of the 12-foot center point.
I don't think it really defines that. It says the midpoint of whatever the midpoint is.
Correct. Whatever the midpoint is what is,
I mean, you could have a
it
very steep
alternates.
roof and,
Absolutely, yes. I actually have a section of the code.
I don't think the walls have anything.
Wait, which walls? The walls on the first level, the walls on the, I'm so confused by the way you're saying.
So the walls of the actual structure
Okay,
to the first floor before it starts to go in
Okay.
is what they go,
so
is
let's
what they
call
go
that
by.
8, just for the sake of this example. So if those are 8, and you're allowed so you get an 8-foot top, right? Because that would give you a 12 average, probably, right?
They would give you, yes.
So what were you saying about the extra now that they allow?
So as far as I'm aware, as far as I'm interpreting the code, is that typically from the center point, depending on the height of the actual garage, because sometimes they are 8 feet, sometimes they're 9 feet or 10 feet, depending on what vehicles are being stored in there, the building department allows you half the wall height to be increased in order to get the pitch of the roof over the structure. But typically, it's not above 16 feet. 16 feet is usually what they would approve. Anything above the 16-foot mark would require a variance for a height.
Okay.
And you're proposing how much?
We are proposing an overall of 21.1.
No, that's not an overall, that's your overall average?
That is the entire height of the structure,
but
to the ridge.
No, that's the ridge.
Correct.
That's to the
what I-
highest point.
What's happening is that it's apples and oranges. The common denominator is midpoint.
Correct.
Average, let's do average.
Well, it's actually, yeah.
So we are above the 16-foot mark.
By how much?
So I'm going to probably, 5
So
feet.
I'd actually like to know how far you're above the 12-foot allowable.
So
If we did the exact same equation
Okay.
that the building department would use to determine if it was 12, and then I just want to be able to compare apples and apples.
Yep. May I approach the bench real quick to explain it to you? Is that okay?
Or you could just give me the number.
Okay. So, we have an 8-foot wall. We have an overall height of the actual area. Typically on a regular garage, right now, as what we are proposing, is above 16 feet. So we're probably in the 17, 18-foot realm to the center point. And then we are encroaching on the height additionally by 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 feet.
Is there an equation that's used to determine just a plain old equation so that I could put in the number and go, here's what it would be if it's 12? I mean, I feel like this is becoming so difficult when I just want the number. Like,
So if I may give you then I guess the wordage from the code book as to how they go about it?
no, I get
Or you would
that.
like me just to-
I just wanted you to tell me the number that you're proposing using the same analysis as that which would yield a 12,
Understood. So what I will do, if it's okay with you, I will write it out for you and I will submit it as evidence in order for you to review. I don't know what equation I can give you at the moment, besides the fact.
You don't have to do that, I'll figure it out.
The structure, I think that the diagram should show you, I think it helps explain it if you wanted to put it into the record, right? That, right there.
Correct.
I want to see that. You need a garage.
Mm-hmm.
The other homes that have garages, what's their midpoint or something? The one on Belmont.
I don't know. I didn't pull all that. I'm a little confused myself, to be quite honest with you. I'm not.
What is, can somebody explain to me what's the major confusion here? I'm just a little confused. Okay, so what is the confusion of the, for me as a layman, I'm not, is it the center point being too high? Like what it?
Correct.
Correct.
So you want? Okay. Correct. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And then from our standpoint, when we went through the process, we wanted to make sure we weren't doing anything that's different than anything outside the neighborhood. And everything that all our plans are according to what other structures or homes exist in the current neighborhood. And that's since I'm a neighbor there and in the community, it was very important for me to make sure that I'm not going outside the box with something that currently exists there.
May I state something? Maybe this will clarify. So the first floor of the garage is being stated as 8 foot 8 inches. We have a floor joist of 1 foot, and then we have the secondary floor, which is 8 feet, giving us a 17.8 overall height. The center point, the actual roof line itself is a 2 foot difference. So 18.8 would be the center point, exact center point to that structure, plus an additional 1 foot to the ridge. No problem. Yep. They were requested to be separated from the full set of plans. Would you like to see this? Okay.
One question, when I look at the plans, the elevations, the house plans,
Yes.
there are 3 levels of the house, of the structure above the DFE. What was the rationale the building department applied in not considering or characterizing the 3rd level of the structure, the 3rd level above the DFE of the structure that appears to be about 9 feet in height, at least portions of it, why is that not, according to the building department, a 3rd story?
So it's not considered a story because it actually is 6'10" within, with collar ties at 4.5 feet within the area. It is only being used as storage and for mechanical purposes, but we have 10 foot on the first floor and 10 foot ceilings on the second floor, and we have a, excuse me? No, 10.
The finished attic floor is 33, right?
We don't have a finished attic. It's going to be left unfinished with
the-
mechanicals and storage.
The finished floor.
Flooring, okay.
Of that level.
Okay.
Which I think is labeled an attic, is at 33, right? And then with those dormers, that traditionally, that would make something that was otherwise a pitched roof, like, falling into a 2.5-story category. That usually.
that. I apologize. I don't see that. I see the overall
What are the plans you're looking at? Wait, what are the date of the plans you're looking at? chart updated.
That's the final set of plans.
Adding floor elevation. What do you think? What did you say it is?
So it's 33 feet 11 to the top of the home, but it's 30 feet above the DFE.
I'm just going by elevations. Adding floor elevation 33.
I don't know where they're.
A4.
Hang on one second. Okay, A4,
Yeah.
attic floor elevation 33. So that's the elevation, the height, and elevation in terms.
That's the finished floor of it. And then the ridge elevation is 42. Somewhere. But as you can see, and I'm sure you know, having done this as long as you have, traditionally, without those dormers sticking out, you know, one might make an argument that the main needs of that level are below the midpoint, so it's 2.5 stories, not 3 story. Additionally, when you add all that, those dormers, that very much looks to all, even lay people, I think, as, and all of that, all 3 of those levels are above the DFE. That's why I was wondering what the rationale was given to you by the building department to not characterize that as a story.
Well, typically, like I just mentioned before, is the fact that the ceiling heights in the actual third floor area is 6'10", which is below the New York State requirement of 7 foot to be considered a story.
Right, but the town has its own set of criteria. They usually work in harmony.
Yes.
Well, I shouldn't say usually. They at times work in harmony, but even you can do pool fence 4 foot, 5 foot.
Mm-hmm. I've actually, sorry.
What is the criteria the town applies, if you know, or some of the criteria? Because this to me, I've been doing this 18 years, this to me, it's hard for me to not think that would be characterized as a story.
I spoke with Commissioner Jowitz regarding this. He circulated a memo. This was probably about a month ago, in which the certain criteria that we consider for something considered a store. Some of the things they mentioned was light ventilation, the ceiling height of the attic or the story, depending on it. Usually, if it's above 6 feet, we consider that to be a pedestal. Generally, but it also matters about the footprint of the third story on top of the structure below. For example, there was a case in which there was a bulkhead which was much lesser than the footprint of the second story. It was only 5 foot 11 inches in height. Even with the storage, it was not considered a story. If you go bathrooms, usually plumbing is considered an indicator if there's going to be a story or converted into one. However, while that was a new memo, it is not always consistently enforced. The building department also is trying to make it more consistent. It's very possible that this was something different. I don't know if factors that went into consideration.
Because just seeing those, like even traditionally, to see the pitched roof, that would be 2.5 story, or, you know, even if it was 8 feet in height in the ceiling, but was a significant pitch, it wouldn't necessarily be, it'd be 2.5 story, but in this case, there are dormers and everything on it. And
I don't mind as to why the denial was not issued. However, the UCO is in direct conflict with the New York State Building Code. We have a 2.5 story permission. The half story being designated as, I believe, 3 meters below the midpoint of the correct. However, for the New York State Building Code, a story is essentially any space above the roof of the second floor, and there's another roof above. So I would consider anything to be a story in that thing. So the building department is trying to work with the confines of the building code while not preventing any applicant who essentially has a map, which is necessary in a lot of the flood zone because they're on the basement. So they're trying to work with that language, trying to rectify the inconsistencies between our code and the New York State Building Code to the best of their ability, which has led to different outcomes in some cases.
Thank you, Mr. Gold.
I have met a few times with Commissioner Jowitz in regards to this application. There was multiple discrepancies at first, but also understood that the application was filed in a particular time, and he was able to inform me that as of, I believe, March 1st, there were new ordinances put into place, but because the application was brought in as of last year in the summer, that he was willing to make an exception and follow through with it.
I confirm we had said that before the past. That application was set on a date certain, and any previous application is not going to retroactively apply what's currently being.
We would apply the criteria we applied before that date.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
May I continue? Okay, thank you. The final case, number 302, before the board today is for the outdoor shower. The lot area required is, as I just stated, which is 30% and 27.5%, with the proposed being 47%. The side yard setback required is 5 feet, 0 setback is being provided. The shower is proposed at the rear corner of the detached garage and will have an enclosure that would be 7'4" in height with a roof. The walls will be 5'10" with openings above and below. Its design is to make it look decorative, sort of as a fencing with a pergola roof above. The proposed dwelling, roof over patio, the deck above the open porch, detached garage, and shower are all within the character and nature of the surrounding community. The design has very minimal impact in the surrounding neighborhood. I would also like to mention that as I've discussed and tried to get the input of the surrounding neighbors when I went around to speak to everybody, there was one neighbor that just requested for arborvitaes to be placed alongside their property line in order to provide that neighbor with privacy. And the Cifarellis are more than willing to oblige to the neighboring neighbors' wishes. I would also like to submit as evidence 5 letters from the surrounding neighbors that are in favor for the Cifarellis' application. And that concludes my presentation. Yes. You can stay there. No, right behind you.
Okay. Makes good neighbors.
My name's Elizabeth Curtin. My address is 116 Montauk Highway, East Hampton, New York. I'm here on behalf of my mother, who lives at 82 Hewlett Avenue, and I'm on the deed with her as well. And I'm here I'm upset or to oppose the detached garage. Because I'm afraid that it's going to become a rental, an Airbnb. It has the plumbing there, it's attached to the septic, and I think the largeness of it is out of character for the neighborhood. And I know that they gave examples, but I know that there's a 200-foot defining area for what the character of the neighborhood is. And the face of the garage is as high as, if not higher, than our house. And the biggest fear is that density, that it could become, it might not, they might want it to be storage. It's 8 feet, it has the possibility of a living space, and it has windows all around. So it feels like it could be.
Give me 1 second. Ms. Cozzolino, is the shower or any other portion of that garage intended to be connected to the septic?
Well, it's going to have to be, because the drainage has to be. So the outdoor shower does have to be connected to the septic.
Keep going.
So that's my main concern, is that it's out of step with the character of the neighborhood. And we have a density issue. I'm on the website while I went. Thank you again for giving the adjournment. My mother is home, and to give us the time to look it over. I appreciate that. And on the website, there was Save Our Suburbs. And I know the density housing that's proposed by the governor, I think it's all over. And on a micro, we have to think about Point Lookout, that the possibility that you might want to use it for storage, but if you sell it, it could be used. And that's my biggest fear.
Thank you.
And Paul?
Mr. Curtin?
I have pictures of the around 200 feet around the
We'll
property.
accept it. Could you show them to the applicant, please?
Thank you.
My name is Paul Curtin. I live at 89 Cedarhurst Avenue in Point Lookout. I also built a house, and I realize you do need to have variances in Point Lookout. Interestingly, last night, a friend took me to go see John Cougar Mellencamp. He dragged me, but he sang a song called "I Was Born in a Small Town, and I'll Probably Die in a Small Town." And I thought, that's me. But the thing is, the song is about the ethos of small towns. And neighborly, we welcome our neighbor, but we want to stay in character of Point Lookout, because we live in New York City, but Nassau County, and specifically Point Lookout, are little small towns. They're jewels. And the other song he sang was, "Little Pink Houses for You and Me." So Joe's right, as an American, is to build the dream house for his family, whether it's first or second house. But the reality is, I'd like that to be in character of the neighborhood. And when I look at that plan, as a reasonable person, I see two little pink houses, because they have a garage with an 8-foot area above it. They have the plumbing going over to the garage. And when I asked about the shower, where they were nice enough to show me, I said, "Do you have a dry well for the shower?" They said, "No, we have the septic to go right over there." So whether Joe changes his mind or Joe sells his house, that to me is a standalone structure, auxiliary, that you can live in. And that is certainly not in the character of the neighborhood. So I really appreciate the time, and I welcome Joe and his wife, and we've talked about it. So, small town, we're all going to get along, but I'd like to preserve the jewel that is Point Lookout, and also other little towns in Nassau County. So thanks for your consideration, and I appreciate it.
Welcome. Any response?
I guess my first response is, I understand they want to respect the neighborhood and trying to keep it, the identity of what the small town means. It seems like their argument is a little more about the area and what's going on, and, maybe about other homes that they're not comfortable with. But from the standpoint of the structure that we're building or putting up, we're in code to what is currently exists in that neighborhood. I like to get along with my neighbors and everybody, and try to put up a structure, and I think I am. I think the wall the garage structure with this particular neighbor is 18 feet away from them. So it's not on their property, right? The garage is on the opposite side. So there's 18 feet of grass, yard, that's going to be next to their mother's property, where she lives. Well, the family's property, I'm sorry, excuse me. So, I don't know, that's my point of view of it. So I think I'm trying to keep the beautification of the neighborhood and trying to build a beautiful home that my neighbors could be proud of, and hopefully they'll welcome me with this structure.
I completely understand Liz and Paul's concerns in the situation of what we're proposing. We were trying to be accommodating. Typical standard lots down in Point Lookout, are 35 by 60. They're very small, very tiny. The Cifarellis are just trying to find storage for their belongings and storage for their vehicles due to the no street parking rules down in Point Lookout. Once again, they are an average of 18 feet away from their property where the structure is going to be built, but I understand their concerns, and that would be it.
Why can't the shower either be, if the shower were attached to the dwelling, would it share the dwelling's septic system?
Well,
why can't it have a dry well? Or
absolutely. That would be fine. That's something that we can absolutely
Lookout
accommodate.
doesn't have a lot of extra capacity available on its septic
I know.
system to begin with. And plus, I do see it opening the door for potential abuse by others in the future if you were to sell the home.
Sure. I believe that Mr. Cifarelli and Mrs. Cifarelli will be A-okay with putting a dry well separately just for the outdoor shower.
But is that allowed, you've been over this with the building department, is the engineering department going to find that acceptable if you know?
I believe that if, for the location of the shower, that would be on the board's end, but I believe that, yes, we can absolutely have room for maybe a 500-gallon dry well in order to be placed there, and that's where it would drain into. Once again, they are going to be demolishing the property, the existing dwelling, so all the groundwork will be obviously done to accommodate.
Is there proposed a roof deck? I thought I saw that on that section of the top of the...
No, there is no roof deck.
The flat section?
No. There is a second floor deck off the master bedroom, and there is a first floor deck porch on the first floor at the rear.
On the garage, it says garage front elevation. Is that the elevation that would be on Hewlett? Is that the one that's going to face Hewlett?
With the garage door facing outwards, yes. We are creating a double-car driveway on that side on Hewlett, and the garage will be facing outwards in order for the vehicle to pull straight into the garage doors.
And there would not be a rear door in the garage rear?
There's no rear door, nope,
Just a side door?
correct.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
I do.
Yes.
Other than the shower that is proposed with that garage, if the shower's not attached to the garage doesn't need plumbing, right?
If the shower, yes, correct.
Correct.
Yeah, just quickly, I'm not unreasonable. I think if you're gonna build a garage and have a living, possibly storage, a living space above it, it should be attached to the house. Because in that case, you would be less likely, or the next owner, to rent that out to somebody else as an Airbnb or something like that. You know, and they're 2.5 story, a third story, that's supposed to be storage. And now the thing above the garage is being claimed as storage also. And, you know, we have a plumbing line going in there, we have a waste line going in there, we're gonna have electricity. But if that was attached to the house and they moved it back, I know their family's living in there. They might need that space. I could understand that.
Why isn't it attached?
Why isn't the garage attached?
Yeah, why isn't the garage attached?
Well, they have a
Porch, I know.
They have a rear porch at the end, but they wanted separation between the storage of the automobiles and their house. But they would, if that's what the board would like, we can redesign the area, but that's what
I
they...
was just curious what the motivating factor was for having it detached instead. I mean, most garages are attached to houses.
I understand. So because the property is so elongated, they wanted to have a little separation with a yard. That is the only reason why they would want it, and obviously it would be closer to the Hewlett entrance in order for, that's where their parking is going to be for their vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah, so if it's closer button on the house, then you'd be driving all the way up the whole back lot into the home, into the garage. So it's further back a little and creates,
So less
it
of the
uses,
space has to be used for a driveway or something.
yeah, I mean, in this way, it uses properly the total space of 35 by 120. You know, that opens it up, that gives it an area look, an open look, instead of just being, I think it would be, right, the other way would
Yeah.
look
You would have a larger driveway.
I think that would be an eyesore for the neighborhood.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board reviews the plans and the testimony, they'll make a decision, and you will be notified.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Have a good day.
Too.
Aye.
We're going to take a 5-minute break before we hear the final case on the morning calendar, to give the court reporter the opportunity to stretch and exercise her fingers in a different manner.
Oh, well, that's true, it does happen.
Okay. Have a good day.
Are we ready? Oh, right. Lee? Lee, did you sign it? I did. You did? Yeah. Yes. No, no, we do. I'll leave it back there. Oh. That was, no, we do. She signed it, right? Never. Do I get disqualified? Gail was gone. She left.
Next, we have case 32723, Leo Beach, Rachel Walks. Variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, rear yard, construct second and third story wood decks attached to dwelling, also known as 35 Lucian Street. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Good morning. For the record, it's Barry Nelson, 220 Pettit Avenue, Belmore, New York, 11710. We began the case back, I think it was May 24th, and at that time I did submit photographs, and I'm not sure if there's any other exhibits. Just to do some housekeeping, this case was originally heard back in 2018 under case 877. At that time, it was granted. There was opposition who took an Article 78. I'd like to just hand in the board's cards and the decision for that case back in under case number 877, September 12, 2018. The neighbor to the south took the opposition, the Myersons, the Article 78. At that time, there was some discrepancy on the identifying the house, which was considered a 1 and 2 story, but now, because it's fully FEMA compliant, it is a 2nd and 3rd story deck. The case... Correct, except for that deck had the steps and a platform off the rear of the dwelling, which now has been removed, and the steps are incorporated within the deck itself. And it's a deck approximately 15 feet wide and a depth of 25 feet with the stairs inside the deck. So with that said, the rear yard variance is not required. It's still carried forward and we'll maintain it, but the deck, it meets the rear elevation of the dwelling and does not further encroach into the rear yard. The rear yard, it's before the board. They just never removed it because if I don't know if you have the old file, the old site plan had a steps and a platform that reduced the rear yard to 11.73 feet on the old case, and now the applicant has incorporated those stairs inside, and the rear yard to the deck is 18.4 feet. And because this lot is a 65-foot depth lot, the required rear yard is 16.25 feet because of the allowance to reduce a rear yard 3 inches for every foot that it's less than 100 feet. And it is a 65-foot depth lot. Also, the lot area coverage has been reduced because of the removal of the rear platform and steps. Originally, in 2018, the lot coverage was 35.1%. The instant application today is 32.7% lot coverage. Lastly, it would be the aggregate side yards. The greater side yard is on the southerly side, where it's now 14.1 feet with the proposed deck, and the northerly side is 9.9 feet. The aggregate side yard, because it's a 96-foot wide lot, would be required to have a aggregate side yard of 33.6. 24 feet is proposed. Again, the greater side yard is to the neighbor to the south, and the rear yard has now been eliminated, but because it's advertised, will continue forward. I did hand in photographs of the area character. The
fact that it's a two-story deck, a second and third-story deck, that is not a variance, the third-level deck, which is the second level of the house, or the main livable area of the house, where they have the kitchen, dining room, living room. It's kind of an upside-down house where the bedrooms are on the second level and the living room, dining room, kitchen is on the third level. Correct.
So basically, this is actually less of a position on the surrounding area than was prior, and it's going to be compliant.
Yes,
Nothing's gotten worse from what we already approved, it's just gotten better.
exactly. With that said, I would like to incorporate the original hearing and the minutes, as well as my testimony on that application, to be part of this application today. Thank you. And just to sum up, as you hear in Point Lookout, area variances are common in the Lido Dunes area. What's being requested for a lot area occupied is common in the area. In fact, originally they were constructed at 30%. The dwelling itself fully complies with the lot area occupied. It's just a deck. It's an open deck, second and third stories. And I have examined, and you find in my original testimony, we have lot area occupied on similar sized lots of 6,000 square feet, 30, 35, 40, and 45% lot area occupied, all on Lucian Street and Woodhale Street, as well as Royat Street to the west. So it's my opinion what's before the board today is a less of a variance, or less of a variances than previously approved, and what's before the board today is common in my photographs, and if you do an inspection of the area, you'll find that there's second and third story decks all over the area, and it's not going to be detrimental to property values or quality of life issues. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes your case. You do have one letter in opposition. Aronin? Okay, come up.
Yes, I do. Okay. Hi, good morning,
Morning.
Board. My name is Leslie Aronin, and I live at 34 Woodhale Street in Lido Beach. And in all due respect, I know that the original plans have been reduced, but my opposition is that this 2- and 3-story side deck is still going to impede on my privacy. My house is a 2-story house. I use my backyard and deck, which is on the ground floor, and with these side decks, it overlooks my yard and is close to my yard, and I feel that my quality of life is going to lessen, and it's going to impede on my privacy. When these people are out, my neighbors are out on the deck, they're going to be looking right into my yard.
That's it?
And, yeah, that's it. And also, this has nothing to do with that, but like years ago, there was a house built across the street from me at 27 Woodhale Street. We were never sent variances. We were never sent any notification of what was being built there. And this very large house was built with decks going on the second and third floor. I don't know how that happened because nobody on the street was notified that this was going to be built. And so I lost a certain amount of privacy, okay, in the front, and now I'm afraid that I'm going to lose it in the back.
Okay, thank you.
And I feel, okay, if, I'm not opposed to perhaps if they want to put a side deck on the second floor so you can get out of the kitchen and whatever, but I am very opposed to the third floor deck. Because the second floor, I still have some privacy, but on the third floor, it's going to be way too high and looking right into my yard and house.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
No.
Okay, thank you very much for coming.
Okay.
Do I have any other questions from the board? Mr. Nelson, what do you have to say, if anything?
Level, at the third level, is less than 20 feet in height. It's no different than a house with the windows all in the back of the house or on the side. Secondly, at the easterly side of that deck, that's where the 3-foot wide stairs are, so the use and enjoyment of the deck would be moving forward to the street frontage, or to the street, than to the rear, which would even provide another setback of 3 more feet to the 18.4 to 21 so, and there's the railings there. So in my opinion, it's no different than a house. In fact, her house has a less of a setback than what the applicant has. Hers is about 15 feet. So, and she has the deck on her southerly side and some encroachments in the rear yard that received variances. In my opinion, no different than many of the houses in the area. Thank you.
That concludes your case.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions from the board?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified in writing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? We have one case that we put on the second calendar, that is case 352 of 2023. That's renewal of a grant to maintain a two-family dwelling. Is there anyone here on that case? What do you want to do? Yeah. So, in light of the fact that there's no one here in opposition, we're permitted to grant, and we will grant, an appearance waiver in connection with this application. The building department inspected the premises on March 27th of 2023 and found that all previous conditions imposed by this board have been complied with, as a result of which I'm going to close this hearing, unless I have any questions from the board members.
I
If
move the
not,
hearing.
do I have a motion?
I apologize. I
Go
move the
right
hearing be
ahead.
closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, the applicant will be notified.
Okay. All in favor? That concludes the morning calendar. Want to take a 5-minute break and do decisions? Okay. 2-minute break. I was going to say 2 minutes, too. Isn't that amazing? The air. Yeah, okay. going to call the calendar, and we're going to make some decisions. First case, 350 of 2023, St. Anthony's Roman Catholic Church. That was granted from the bench. 365 of 2023, South Nassau Hellenic Community, Inc., DBA St. Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church. That, too, was granted from the bench. Case 1356 of 2023 was Hempstead St. Thomas the Apostle Roman Catholic Church, so as not to discriminate against anybody. That, too, was granted from the bench. Elmont, the Mother of God with Eternal Life, care of Pasqualina Fontana. That was a renewal. Do I have any questions from the board? Was that granted from the bench?
No.
No. Any questions from the board? If not, can I have a motion?
I move case 351 of 23 Elmont at 203 Gotham Avenue be approved as requested. They said it will be owner occupied. with
Same
normal
conditions?
Yep, two-family conditions.
Okay. All in favor?
Second.
Second?
Second.
Oh, she made the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Case 352 of 2023, Belmore, Thomas and Mary Donato. That, too, is renewal of a grant to maintain a two-family dwelling. Do I have any questions from the board? And if not, well, do I have a motion? That was Mark's second call. We granted an appearance waiver.
I move that case 352-23, Thomas and Mary Donato at 2470 Grand Avenue in Belmore, that the renewal of the two-family dwelling be granted for a term of 5 years with the same previously imposed conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Case 353 of 2023, Gabriel and Brittany Campelon. This, too, is a renewal of a grant to maintain a two-family dwelling. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 353 of 2023, property located at 2063 Walnut Street in Baldwin, be granted as requested for a period of 5 years, all prior conditions.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next case, 354 of 2023, 764 Sunrise LLC. This, too, is renewal of a grant. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 354 of 23 in Baldwin, 764 Sunrise LLC be approved as requested with normal sign conditions.
Any, okay, do I have a second?
Second.
If not, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Cases 355 through 357 inclusive of 2023, that's Diana Rodov. There are some open permits on that. We are holding that case pending the approval of a new and improved site plan to be submitted by Mr. Monasteri, since that is the correct pronunciation of his name as opposed to what Mrs. D'Amato says. Case 358 of 2023, Near Valley Stream, Milton Urichima and Selena Marino, mother-daughter. That case was adjourned until July 12th at 9:30 a.m. Cases 360 and 361 of 2023, North Belmore, Irving and Antoinette Mayones. Do I have any discussion from the board? There are a couple of open permits on that one as well.
I move that case 360, 361, Irving and Annette Mayones at 1390 Liberty Avenue in Belmore be granted with the conditions that they close all open permits.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any opposed, any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? No. All right, case 362 of 2023, I want to hold that case. 5-for-1 will inspect this house, both on the exterior and the interior. Case 363 of 2023, Michael Simon and Nicole Den. It's maintaining a shed with a roof. Any discussion from the board members? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 363 of 2023, property location 3196 Poplar Place, Wantagh, New Brunswick, as requested.
Caveat that the open portion of that shed will be kept open.
Yes.
Okay? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Case 364 of 2023, Uniondale, Arlie Brand and Jose A. Salazar. Some open permits on that one as well. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 364 of 23 Uniondale, Arlie Brand and Jose Salazar at 416 Northern Parkway be approved as requested, close out open permits and normal mother-daughter conditions.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Case 366 of 2023 near Floral Park. I'd like to hold that case. I will inspect that one as well. Case 367 of 2023, and the rest of you are welcome to inspect as well.
Thank you.
367 of 2023, Joe Berkowitz, Merrick. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that case 367 of 2023, Joe Berkowitz at 3361 Seawayn Avenue Drive in Merritt be granted as requested.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Case 368 of 2023, Wantagh, Corinne and Jason Bragg. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 368 of 2023, property located at 1553 Forest Lake Boulevard in Wantagh, be granted as requested.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Case 242 of 2023, the representative is coming back at 3 p.m. this afternoon. Cases 300 through 302 of 2023, Point Lookout, I would like to hold that case as well, unless somebody has any other opinion. Case 327 of 2023, Lido Beach, Rachel Wax. Any discussion? If not, do I have a motion? No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a problem with that, the second and third. I mean, he testified that there were a lot of second and third decks, but like, I looked at Google and I couldn't see any. You know, I have a problem with the third deck.
I looked at the Google Earth also, and I agree, there are none in the area. And I also agree that the third deck is questionable.
Someone like to make a motion? None? I'm going to hold that case because I'm going to go down there and look at it with the permission of the board members. Okay? Let's take a peek at the reserve calendar. Anything on page 1?
So regarding 199 of 23, that's the Starbucks in Seaford. I spoke with Bill again. He is still working on getting the new drawings for the engineering plan. He is insistent on it, but there's a large bureaucratic glut, as you can imagine, with the corporate structure of Starbucks.
Okay.
As for 222 through 227, I've tried on multiple occasions to reach out to the representative of this case that came in for a renewal. If the board recalls, this is the one in which we granted it temporarily because they said they were going to convert it to residences. I don't know how much longer. I don't think they're making any real good faith efforts to come back to us, and as long as this stays on our calendar, it stays any sort of enforcement. So I can't make a recommendation necessarily. If the board is comfortable with the use, they can grant it temporarily, but it depends on how persuasive the previous testimony the board finds in rendering a determination on the case for renewal. Maybe talk about that. You want to talk about that sometime?
Well, we'll talk about that at lunch, but we'll revisit it this afternoon. I have my own ideas about what to do with that one.
Concerning 160 of 23, I believe the board wanted to hold that for further inspection. If they recall, this is the one with the front yard setback that was previously denied, came back for a it was granted as a 15-foot. They built it at a 10-foot front yard setback, and then it was denied for the 10 feet. They came back again, and this time they wanted the 10-foot front yard as well as a 5-foot rear yard because they were installing a rear addition.
And that's what the attorney tried to distinguish this as a new case.
right.
He said it was a new case, because he's saying basically there was a case in which it was subject to a settlement, but the board did grant a similar lot area, a similar front yard on a case, on a lot, I think it was 4 or 5 houses down. It was pursuant to a settlement, and I will say that that house was reduced in structure for both the rear and side yards, even if the front yard was still maintained at.
Albeit, this is the third time this case came back.
Correct.
With the same front yard setback, which was the original objection.
Correct.
And this was a case where the applicant, who was a contractor, lived next door to the property and saw it being built 5 feet closer to the front than.
Yes.
Okay, so would somebody like to make a motion?
A legal question, would it be dismissed as moot because it's, or
I think it
the
would be,
legal term for this?
it would be denied under the, so we basically, if we're making the argument that this is barred under the doctrine of administrative res
Yes.
judicata,
Yep.
it would be denied because the board would lack, it's really a jurisdictional.
Okay.
So the board would lack jurisdiction to hear a case that's already been decided.
I'd like you to write an opinion
Would th-
or
would-
decision.
Would that decision be, in effect, dismissed as moot because of the previous? I'm just
we-
curious to see.
Go ahead. Just deny.
It would be flat out denied under the jurisdictional element. But it's not, we're not denying it on the merits, we're denying the consideration.
Yes.
Yes, that's why we're denying the consideration of it, because we lack jurisdiction on cases already decided.
Excellent.
So do we need a denial,
Well said.
or do we just need the opinion?
He's going to write it.
I'm gonna write something together. It's gonna be
He'll write a
denied,
denial.
and regarding the rear yard, I'm gonna include that in the decision.
Right,
That is a new
right.
case. So it would be, the front yard would be denied as barred under administrative res judicata, and we lack jurisdiction, and the other will be denied on the merits.
Right.
Did
That's
he
right.
withdraw that, or was that like a
No,
conditional
he
withdrawal?
offered to withdraw it if there was a grant on the front. Okay, that was the basis for the new case. And if you recall, in the first hearing where it was denied, they also offered not to build anything in the rear yard if the front yard setback was granted at 5 feet.
Okay.
It's under the title of. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, case 274-23, Mark Husbands Jr. and Danielle Edwards. I reached out again to Ms. Pangallo. She is still waiting for the plans from the homeowners. Were reaching out to the architect.
Okay,
So they're just waiting for those.
we'll hold it.
Eisler, I know I have a draft with Mr. Motto, so
Right.
we'll do edits on that.
Good luck.
I know, right, Patrick, Dominic submitted new photographs concerning
Yeah.
this one?
Which
So-
one?
On the top of page 2, 249 through 251.
Right.
They had to clean up the area before granting any sort of renewal.
Did they?
Yes.
Yes.
We have photographs. Dominic's.
How is this, if you know, how is this going to impact the, I'm going to call it revitalization area in Baldwin? Is this part of that?
It's not a part of Baldwin.
Overlay?
It's not a part of Baldwin. Because then if it was, it would either be town board jurisdiction, because it would be, because they're the ones that are running the Baldwin. overlay.
Yes.
That's why there's a moratorium on it, although they did lift that moratorium recently. This is outside of that overlay district, otherwise it wouldn't be approved.
I didn't know whether or not it would technically get snagged because it's a continuance of our case.
Trust me, we
That's
do
why
it.
I asked you.
In the case of the Inwood overlay, where something interesting happened, that's not for the reason.
Thank you. I visited this site at JS Sunrises again, and I think it's as good as it's going to get. It's cleaned up.
Would you like to make a motion? Would you like to make a motion, Mr. Pellegrini?
I move that case 249 and 251 at 7046 Sunrise Highway, the special exception for the automobiles, et cetera, be granted for a period of 5 years with the same previously imposed conditions, subject to recall if it's not kept in good condition.
Second.
I like that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
I know I know the board was going to consider these next four upon inspection, but without Ms. D'Amato, we do not have the supermajority for the purposes of an NCPC modification, unless the board chose to agree with the recommendation of the NCPC. That would be the only caveat. Hold it.
Yeah, I think she could add some input.
Okay, as the board, I sent out a draft decision on the 339 of 23, the Mark Adler case. In that, I discussed that the applicant did not require a height variance, so that would be dismissed as it is built 30 feet above the DFE. That was an older interpretation of how the building department interpreted it, and denied the portion of the application that requested the number of stories. And I explained the project.
Right. Would anyone like to make a motion to adopt that decision?
Yeah. I move that case 339 of 2023 in Inwood Mark Adler, that we adopt the findings that Mr. Bogle has been directed to put together.
The decision.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Case 340 through 341, Oceanside Denise Pulo. Lisa submitted photos, but Mr. Bogle and myself actually went out there and looked as well. The shed was removed. I know that was part of the hiccup. Yeah, it's gone.
Do we want to, can I have a motion unless there's any other discussion?
I move cases 340 through 340 and 341 of 2023, location of property 3373 Fulton Avenue in Oceanside, be granted as requested.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed, any abstention? Next case.
I'm sorry.
No,
Case
go right ahead.
342, Wantagh Liberty Utilities. You had asked Mr. Bernesso to submit a landscaping plan. He submitted it later that day. I had emailed it to the board. I don't know if anybody got a chance to look at it. I do have copies of it here.
I had raised it, an idea, I had an idea that they're going to demolish the existing well building. Not the well building, the well building.
The enclosure around the well.
That should be done upon completion of the new structure, assuming that we would grant the new structure, and not let it lay fallow.
I think we should give them a time period within which to demolish.
Yeah,
Is that?
yes, something to
How
that
long?
effect. And
How
not
long?
just-
2 months, a month,
Not more than.
Upon completion of the,
Not more than two. Not more.
30 days upon completion of the
Uh,
exterior structure of the requested well.
Well, the structure, the new structure.
The new structure.
The new
yeah.
structure.
Not
yeah.
just the exterior portion.
Right.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion, is that?
That'd be a good idea.
I move that case 342 of 2023 in Wantagh Liberty Utilities, formerly known as New York Water Corp., the special exception to construct a water well building in conjunction with the public utility, be granted with conditions that we just spoke about, having requirement to remove the existing well building within 30 days after completion of the new building.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
Yeah, on the last case, Miriam Solomon, I sent out a brief letter just outlining use variances, 4 factors that are required for a use variance to be permissible. And also I spoke with the building department regarding religious kitchens, because it's a bit different than a second family,
Yeah.
like 2-family. However, if it is put on a different level, they're far more strict. So if they want to do it on the same level, the building department will sometimes let it slide a bit, even if it would be considered technically a second kitchen. This is in the basement, so it's a little more concerning to the building department, hence the denial of use.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Agree with that.
Joseph?
I move that case 343, 2023, Miriam Solomon, a variance's front yard setback on Pine to construct a dwelling be granted as requested. The use variance, part of this case 343, to construct a Passover kitchen in the basement should be denied.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstention?
The denial
Just,
doesn't necessarily preclude the kosher or Passover kitchen, but in the basement is
What I'll do.
the issue.
Instead of it just being, that's gonna come to me anyway, granted the bar's denied.
Yeah.
I'll say that the purpose for the denial is based on location. Say,
Yes.
it's not gonna preclude them from coming for another application for some kitchen location was not. I'll make that very clear.
Should-
that be dismissed instead, dismissed without prejudice, the use?
No, because we are making a decision on the merit that is.
Okay.
So as long as we distinguish it that it's on the merits of the location and not the use itself, I think, because dismiss means they either fail to make their case, which I don't think they necessarily did, maybe they won't. No, I think denial is more proper. I think denial with the proper distinction as to why can be as clear as possible.
okay.
Now, there are 4 extensions of time. First is,
Mr. Pellegrini's specialty.
sorry, okay, so we need, one of these is for a state variance.
Back up by me and the,
State
Certainly
variance
did.
from the DFE, I'm sure that the board calls this one, it's the one where they built an extension below DFE and the state variance for it, so we have time to get that. That makes sense. Second one is, who's this?
7 Columbus Avenue.
This is, okay, Mr. Akita, this is on 7 Columbus Avenue. So yeah, in this case, it's been back many times, however. Yeah, however, he's doing the extension of time. However, it's under new ownership, and they're actually trying to do everything proper. I haven't showed some building department that this should be the last time it's coming. Next one is for financial reasons, but I believe still, okay, it's commenced construction, we received the permits, but this for financial reasons. And this is granted 14. And the last one is first time on, changing, well, sorry, it's a 14 building permit. And the last one is for update plans, first time.
Extensions of time will be in order and qualify for the application of the building zone ordinance. I move that the aforementioned cases be granted a 1-year extension of time to do what they requested.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
I do, I have one. I still have I didn't get a firm answer on it. Como Restaurant in Belmore, they were requesting a modification to condition number 2, which was us limiting them from May 1st to October 31st for the outdoor dining. She feels that they should be able to decide whether it's nice enough out or not to allow their customers to sit outside.
And it also is a practical matter, if the board recalls, there is a municipal parking lot that
There-
provides sufficient parking. I don't think in the long run, this is one, this is a case that we can distinguish from any other case that has more difficulties.
How did we come about limiting them a season?
It was actually a recommendation from me in order to, and the governor's recommendation in order to at least put some sort of limitations on the dining itself.
But,
Conversation with
yeah,
council.
exactly.
We do believe that we can handle this on more of a case-by-case basis instead of a blanket condition for outdoor dining. And this case would be one in which the parking does seem to be sufficient to satisfy the burden if there's outdoor. So,
And that outdoor dining is on the side.
correct, it's not in the front. So it's one of the situations where I believe that it may be appropriate to remove the condition.
And there was also some discussion with businesses around there that didn't seem to have any concern with outdoor dining.
I grant, I move to grant the modification.
Second?